Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Eduventure SG. So let's do another interesting word problem on fraction. Let's read the question first. At first, there were 4 by 5 as many men as women in a party. Then 2 men left the party and 2 women joined the party. Later, there were 5 by 7 as many men as women in the party. Find the number of men and women in the party later. Okay, so what do we have here is we have a party going on in which there were 4 by 5 as many men as women in the party. That means the number of men were how many? Is the number of men were 4 unit, then the women were 5 unit. So let's start writing our solution. So let's write what information we have first. So at first, how many men were there? There were 4 units. And how many women were there? So women were 5 unit. Okay. Now, 2 men left the party and 2 women joined the party. Okay. Later, there were 5 by 7 as many men as women in the party. That means men were 5 unit and women were 7 unit. Right? So we can say at the end, or later, how many men were there? Men were 5 unit, right? And how about the number of women? There were 7 unit, right? But the point to notice here is that the number of men leaving the party is same as the number of women joining the party. See here, 2 men left the party and 2 women joined the party. That means what? That means the total number of men and women at first and later should be the same. Okay, they should be same. How we can take an example? Let's say at first the number of men were 10, and let's take it 10, and the number of women were 15. Okay, then let's the number of women were 15. So if this is 15, so what will be the total? What will be the total number of men and women here? Obviously it will be 25. Now let's say two men left the party and 2 women joined the party, right? So what will be the number of men later, right? So let's say 2 men left the party, so the number of men would become 8 and 2 women joined the party. So how many women will be there? They will become 17. So what would be the total number of people later in the party? Still 25. So you can see it from here that the number of people before and after are same, right? So I've just given you an example to understand why they will remain the same. Okay. Now, so we can apply the same thing, same explanation. We can use the same explanation to solve our question. Okay, so that means here at first the total number of men and women was how many? Let's calculate it. It's 9, right? Because 4 plus 5 is 9. And how about at the end? It is 5 plus 7, 12 units, right? So you can say, you can write here in the brackets, it's 4 unit plus 5 unit. And here you can write it 12. You can say 5 unit plus 7 unit, right? How it's coming. Okay, now but they should be same, right? As we discussed just now, why they should be same. So in order to make them same, right, we have to find the least common multiple of 9 and 12, right? We have to find the least common multiple of 9 and 12. So we have learned this in primary 4, right? But still for those who are new to it, so you can just quickly write a multiple of 9. So they will be what? They will be 9, 18, 27, 36, 45 and so on. Similarly, the multiple of 12 will be 12, 24, 36, 48, and so on. So you can see here the first common multiple in 9 and 12 is 36, right? So what we can do here, we have to make 9 and 12 equal to 36. So I am erasing this so that we can make them same, right? So how do we make this 9 36? How can we make the total here 9 into 36? Because you have to convert at first, and at the end the total number should be 36, right? So how we make this 9 into 36? Obviously multiply it by 4. So it will give you 36 unit. But same operation you have to do for others, for men and the women's unit. So that will give you 4 times 4 will give you 16 units. 5 times 4 will give you 20 units. You can check here, 16 plus 20 is 36. Same thing here. If we have to make this 12 36 unit, just multiply it by 3. So that will give you 36 unit. But you have to do the same operation for others. So which will give you, men's will become 15 unit and women's will be 21 unit. So here again, if you add them up, it will become 36. It is 36. Okay. Now you observe here. See, earlier the number of units of men is 16 and later they become 15 unit. Right. So there is a decrease of 1 unit. Right. There is a change of 1 unit. In fact, there is a decrease of 1 unit. And for women, earlier they were 20 units. Later they become 21 unit. Right. So you can observe here there is an increase of 1 unit. Right. There is increase of 1 unit. So from here to here it's -1, but from here to here it's +1. Right. There is increase. So what do you think? One pattern you can observe is that the decrease is only 1 unit for men, and increase also is only 1 unit for women. Why? Because the same number of men has left the party, right, as the number of women joined the party. Okay, so that means here the difference, right, the difference of 1 unit is because 2 men left the party. We can say 1 unit is equal to 2. Okay, the change in the unit is because 2 men left the party. Okay, or in other words, you can also say that, okay, 2 women joined the party, so there is an increase of 1 unit. So from here also you can say, okay, 21 minus 20 units will give you the same thing, right? So here also 1 unit is 20. So you can choose either way. You can choose either way, right? So what we got here is 1 unit is 2. Okay, so now let's read the question. Find the number of men and women in the party later. Okay, so it's not that some of the students might get confused. They will calculate the total number of men and women in the party. But if that would have been the question would have been put up like, find the number of men and women in the party later all together. Yeah, find the total number of men and women in the party later, something like that. Okay, but here what they have asked is separately what is the number of men and women in the party. So we have to tell them separately how many men were at the end, how many women were at the end in the party. So in the end the number of men were 15 units, right? So we can calculate from here. 15 units will be 15 times 2, that will give us 30. Right, so that's the number of men. Okay, number of men later, right? And how about the women? They are 21 unit, right? So 21 unit will be 21 times 2, so that will give you 42, right? So that's the number of women later, right? So that answers our question, right? So how many men and how many women in the party later? So there were 30 men and 42 women in the party later. So I hope you enjoyed the solution. Keep watching. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you.